Welcome to DWI, Steelers Edition. Hey, how's it going out there? We're back. Fellas. Listen, a lot to go over, a lot to cover. So without further ado, that's Wax, that's Dude, I'm Illy, we are DWI. Let's get straight into it. Victory today, dude.
Yeah, we did.
We definitely got the victory, Wax.
Yes, sir. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. But at the same time, it was ugly as a mother skunk. So, what do you think about today's victory, dude? How you feeling?
I'm on the fence a little bit. I'll take it. You know what I mean? I want to look better, but it's the first game of the year, so I'm just hoping that it start to look better after this.
Right. What about you, Wax? How you feeling?
I feel the same way he does. We kicked 6 field goals. But we won the game. You know, I'd like to see a little bit more out of our offensive line and our offense in general, but I'll take the W, man.
Definitely. Listen, I had this whole thing prepared, but I'll definitely take my time. But I will say this. I'm back from Narnia.
Right.
I'm back.
You said fuck the line, the witch, and the wardrobe.
Hell yeah, I took the wardrobe off. I had this fucking, it was like a Mystique wizard mask and shit, man. But here's where I'm going, man. I'll take the W, but that damn offense, man, it just looks so fucking like, it was hard to watch.
Right.
6 field goals, that got to be a record of some sort.
Right.
It has to be.
I don't know if it's a record, but it's...
I mean, the boy Boswell went 6 for 6 and a punt.
And 50, and some long ones, too. Some 50s, 57 and 56.
Right.
He's the MVP.
Definitely, man. I mean, on that offense, man, I'll say there was 3 standouts today. It would definitely be our tight end position.
Okay.
Muth, he showed up and showed out, you know. But you definitely said it was the boy Arthur. He gears himself around the tight end.
Right.
So I'll say shout out to Muth. Shout out to Boswell, definitely, and the boy Pickens.
Okay.
You know, and to be totally honest, as far as an honorable mention, I'll give it to fucking Fields, man. As far as running the ball.
Yeah. He managed the game, you know what I mean?
He did. It was good clock management, but at the same time, when I'm looking for a rushing or a running back, I need him to fill that void that we've been missing as far as getting them carries in there.
Right. And let me start it out by, like, anybody that missed the game, because somebody might not have saw the game, so let me go through my notes real quick and catch everybody up on what they might have missed if they didn't see it, or if you saw it, you can chime in and see if you agree with me, what my assessment was of the game. So, first drives, Atlanta, you know what I mean, they we missed an interception. Like, Jackson should have had this pick, and he might have took that all the way if he'd have caught it.
Right.
So we missed that. They ended up getting a field goal on their first drive. Our first drive, the first play of the game, Justin Fields fumbles the snap again, so it's like it didn't become a problem the rest of the game, but I was nervous.
Right.
I'm like, if you keep doing, if you do this again, bro, like you got to get out. We ended up getting a 57-yard field goal out of that drive, so that was okay. Deshaun Elliott had a pick earlier in Atlanta's second drive, so this was Cousins' first pick, which really could have been his second pick.
Right.
So I have us moving the ball pretty decently. George Pickens and Fields had a nice couple connections for first downs on that drive. We ended up kicking a field goal on that, but it was a bad play call with that reverse with George Pickens. I didn't really like that play call because we lost 10 yards on it. And Boswell saves the day as usual with a 51-yard field goal. Second quarter, it's 6-3. Elliott, I have him. He was making plays. I have Atlanta's O-line looked like they were moving us pretty good on the D-line. So I was kind of nervous about that. They kind of cleaned it up toward the end of the game, so I was cool with that. So we had a punt. Calvin Austin had a pretty good return. So the offense, they don't look like world beaters, but there was a little bit of more consistency that I need to see. They look better than Matt Canada's offense to me. So it looked like it was an actual professional calling the plays for the first time in a while.
Right.
So I was cool with that. We had a bogus offensive pass interference call on George Pickens. Right. I thought that was a bogus call because he pushed a little bit, but
It was ticky tacky.
Yeah, it could have. They could have held the whistle on that one. So we ended up that killed our drive. So we had to punt that one. TJ had a strip sack and a recovery, but they called him offsides, which I didn't think it was offsides either. So they took that one from us, and they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive.
When you say they, who you talking about?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Atlanta scored a touchdown on that drive with the TJ could have had that sack. And then we get the ball with 50 seconds, I think, and ended up pushing the ball down the field with a nice pass from Fields to Pickens, and ended up getting in field goal range and kicking a nice field goal to go down by 1 at the half. So I thought that was cool. And then we got the ball at the beginning of the second half, and we ended up going 3 and out though. So
right.
Okay, 4th down conversion. Atlanta had a 4th down conversion, and then TJ Watt picked up the fumble.
That was huge. That fumble recovery, that was huge because it slowed down their momentum.
It did. It shut them down.
Anytime we can slow down a team like Atlanta and hold them to a fumble recovery when they're supposed to be marching down the field and putting that ball in the end zone, that's a plus on our part.
And I think that really took the wind out of their sails with that one.
It did.
That was a big time play. TJ coming through again. He had another strip sack that was reversed because they said it was, I forget what they said it was on this one. I forget what the call was, but they took that one away from him. And then we get to the end of the game. We just methodically, that last drive I thought was pretty good for us, where we just methodically went down the field and iced the game. So that was pretty cool. I mean, like I said, it wasn't the best. We didn't score a touchdown. We got to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Wax, I got a humongous question for you.
What's
How do you feel about those no calls? There was a couple plays where Harris's helmet got taken off his head. Like, your helmet just don't fall off. You either get it knocked off or you get it taken off your head by somebody on the opposition ripping it off your head.
Right.
And as far as I know, that's face mask.
Yeah, or something. It's hands to the face. You know what I mean? I feel like we were playing against the Falcons and the refs today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's how I felt.
Yeah, like you have to call it both ways. If you're going to call like tic-tac fouls on us, you have to call it on them too. And they got away with a lot.
They really
a lot.
did. They twice. They hit our punter, and we got called for holding on this.
Which is insane.
That was garbage.
That's crazy.
And he looks like he's hurt.
Yeah, it looks like he is hurt.
They hit his kicking foot.
And he kind of limped off the field. But for the offense, though, I have to say, we have to capitalize on our field position. Like, we get all the way down to the red zone or close to it, and we can't score. Like, we need to put points on the board, not only with field goals, but with touchdowns, too.
Right. Which brings me to my... I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's all right.
Brings me to my question on y'all. Like, when we had a 4th and 1 inside the 5, it was like right on the 5-yard line. Would you have went for it, or would you have kicked that field goal? Because that field goal would have put us up 18-10. Would you have kicked that field goal, or would you still go for 4th and 1?
You go ahead first, Wax.
Me, I think I would have kicked the field goal just because now I know they have to score and get a 2-point conversion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, even though we couldn't score like a touchdown, that would have put us up by 8.
Right.
And they weren't really scoring either, so you know what I mean. I feel like we should have kicked the field goal.
It was our moment to capitalize.
Yeah, like I mean, I know a lot of y'all would have wanted to get the first down and tried like 4 more times to score, but I would have took the field goal myself.
Right. Me, I'm greedy. I'm greedy as a motherfucker, so I wanted that first down.
Right.
And we couldn't capitalize.
Right.
Well, I feel like we could have capitalized on that, pick the first down up, and then we go for the extra 4 downs if need be, then kick the field goal.
Right.
So like I said, I'm greedy. I want that first down.
Right. And I was at the time, I'm like, just kick it. But I can understand why Tomlin wanted to go for it, because you know what I'm saying. It's like, if you can't get 1 yard, what the hell? So, but in the grand scheme of things, I probably would have kicked it, because like Wax said, now you're up 18, you're up by 8. I mean, and they got to score, which is hard to do on our defense. So they got to score and score again. So. But I get what you're saying. Like, hey, fuck that. Like, let's seal the game right here.
When we're in position, keep your damn knee on their neck, man.
Right.
Keep going forward. Keep the momentum high.
Right.
Keep the energy high. We're in their territory to where we can kick a field goal or capitalize on this first down.
Right.
Exactly.
There's so many things I got to say about that offense moving forward, but I'm going to let you get into it.
Right. But like for me, it's like because Najee wasn't running hard. Like, well, he's running hard, but he's just he's just lacking the physical talent. I think he's good. He's what he's gonna be. You know what I mean? But it feels like he's running like he's in a dream and there's a dog chasing him.
Oh my God.
He can't escape.
And he can't get away.
I've been there before when you're trying to run in your dream and you can't run fast.
That's Najee. I'm like, damn, like wake up.
Look at his stats.
It almost seems like he's a fullback in a running back's
Right,
body. You
right.
know what I mean? Like
He thinks fullback first.
yeah, like I'm gonna scrape for these 2 yards. Like, nah, bro, you're our starting running back.
Right.
Like, you should be scraping off 5-6 yards of carry on good blocking schemes, but 2 to 3 on not blocking.
Right.
I agree. So basically, you're looking like, where's the finesse?
Right.
If you're a halfback, where is the finesse and the vision?
Thank you.
You're supposed to be looking for opportunities to move that rock efficiently, and you didn't do that.
At all.
For me, watching that brother, and I told you, I'm biased in so many categories. I think run first. Because if you can't run the ball, we got a problem.
Yes,
and
sir.
Pittsburgh's known for iron nose, put your nose down, and let's move that rock consistently on the ground. If we have to, we'll do a couple play actions.
Right.
But for the most part, stick our nose down on the ground and move forward. And Najee didn't give that to me, especially going 20 for fucking 70.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, bruh. And then you got a quarterback that's going half the amount of carries for 57 yards.
Yeah.
He's 13 yards behind Najee. So to me, today, Justin Fields was the best running back that we had in our fucking repertoire to be able to move that ball efficiently.
Right.
And he's not even a running back. So as far as the running backs, everybody in that category gets a C minus.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren had 2 for 7.
Right.
I mean, they didn't give him the ball a lot because he's still,
Yeah, because he's still
hamstring.
that
Right.
hamstring's still not where it needs to be.
But when I look at their carries and their yards per average, they're at the same yardage. They're at 3.5 a carry.
Right.
Now, granted, every 3 times you touch the ball, that's a first down. But God dog it, these are halfbacks.
Right.
So I need a little bit more. Matter of fact, I need a lot more out of them. And they weren't bringing it.
Right.
So for Justin Fields today, he gets the running back of the day for me. And I got this Watt jersey on for a reason, because this motherfucker went ham. On both sides, I'm saying on the right and left side with him and Highsmith, they held us down.
I was gonna say, man, y'all can't cheat him this year. You cannot cheat him this year, because he should have won the defensive player of the year last year.
I agree, Wax.
You know what I mean?
Totally
and he's
agree.
starting out strong for another case for him being that. You know what I mean? So don't try to cheat him this year, because we're gonna wild out if you do.
Right. They already tried to fuck him over anyway, because he had 2 strip sacks.
Right.
And they called 2 bullshit penalties on both of those plays. I'm like, man, just hating.
Right. I agree, man. I think the refs and the Atlanta Falcons need to get a fucking F today for fucking no calls and poor preparation. The referees helped them stay into the game. Now, I'm not going to bitch. Here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to sit up here and look for all these calls in order to keep us in the game. I'm not going to do that. But what I will do is I'll complain about any of the calls we didn't get. You had one on TJ Watt when it was a face mask, or at least hands to the face, where they didn't call.
Right.
So referees out there, everybody. Reggie's our boy. That's my boy Jabo's brother.
Right.
That's Big Bro.
Right.
They need to, Reg, do me a favor. Get those fucking refs in order, man. Let them motherfuckers know that this shit ain't sweet. Seriously, because you're not helping the opposition when you're calling bullshit calls on us and nothing on them. This is football. Right. Y'all got to go ahead and look forward and at least call a decent game. Right. And I'll say it was a one-sided game. It was like playing 12 people out there, Wax.
That's what I said earlier. It was like we were playing the Falcons and the refs. And I understand they were at home, so they're going to get a little bit more calls, but you got to give us something too.
Right.
And you can't fine us. Like, you know, you can send a fine all you want, but we're not paying that shit.
Hell no, I ain't paying it. As a matter of fact, I'm not even fucking saying shit until they do 3 things, Wax.
Yeah, what's that?
That's like, share, and or subscribe.
Okay.
I need them to do all 3.
How much does it cost them to do that?
Don't cost them a dime. All you got to do is pass it forward. Pay it forward, if you will.
Because, you know, then we can keep bringing y'all this good content. Because ain't nobody bringing it like us for the Steelers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might get the cookie cutter shows, but ain't nobody talking that shit like we do. So.
And we curse. Like Jada said, we can curse.
Yeah.
I'm here to set the record straight. Dude, there's been so many times as a young man or as a child that I was watching Steeler games and I didn't have no place to vent.
Right.
There's been so many times, Wax, where I was like, I wish I could just call up and cuss Coach Tomlin out for the decisions that he made.
Right.
This is our platform. This is my way of saying, offense, get your poop in a group and get your shit together. Yeah. That whole offensive line, to me, if it was me,
they're young.
I understand that, but young doesn't mean you're above
criticism.
Bingo.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's all that's saying is that you haven't played for a while.
I know, but I'm just putting some perspective on it because there's 3 rookies out there, I think. So like that's, you know, they're not going to have it game 1.
I get it.
And like I said, like we said a couple weeks ago, you know, they're still young. It's going to take a minute for them to mold and get everybody's, you know, play off of everybody. You know, like I start picking up what you do good and what you do bad, and I'll try to cover that, and vice versa. You know what I mean? It's going to take a minute for us to come together as a team and play as one unit.
Right.
But you know, I just want to say a win is a win. It was ugly. It wasn't too exciting, but you know, we got the dub.
Right. I would love to piggyback off that, but I gotta ask Dude a question.
Go ahead.
Do you feel like Arthur Smith earned that win today, or do you think he's just attached to a fantastic defense, which enabled him to get that win?
A little bit of both. He called a decent game.
Okay,
but just the players got to execute. You know what I mean? So listen. Anything is better than Matt Canada, and I'm tired of bringing his name up, but like. I can't help it because he was so bad that anybody you could just tell by watching the game. You can tell it was an actual professional calling professional type play. Other than that reverse, which was I was like, is Matt Canada in there? Like, he got his hand up? Arthur Smith's ass real quick. Like, what's going on? But
there was a play that I felt the same way.
What's that?
And I'm gonna tell you when it was. It was when we was at 3rd and 19.
Right.
And they ran that run play.
See, I understood that though, but I understood.
Break it down.
Because it was like they was trying to get a field goal. They knew they wasn't gonna get 19 yards. Mm-hmm. So you just got to try to make Bos's field goal as manageable as possible.
Right.
So you just if they let's say they passed, they wouldn't have got nothing. It would have been like a 61 or 2 yard field goal,
right. Opposed to a 57-yard field goal.
Right.
So you're taking it.
Man, I would have did that.
I don't feel like Arthur Smith. Now, granted. Shout out to Arthur because he did show up and, you know, the offense did put something together to where we can get those 6 field goals.
Right.
But I'm not leaving Atlanta completely happy, even though they fired him and was like, we don't need him.
Right.
And we took him, like they say, another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? But at the same time, I needed him to make that fucking exclamation mark, Wax.
Right.
I needed him to show up and say, look here, y'all didn't want me. Now I got a team that does want me and they utilize my genius. Let me make these motherfuckers look stupid.
Right.
And to me, it was lacklustrous in that aspect.
I feel you.
Because, like, we needed to get that ball in the end zone just to set a precedence, dude.
Right.
Just to let you know that I can move this ball around as much as I want to.
Right.
When I want to. They do what they can. We do what we want. Yeah, you understand what I mean?
But, you know, he's not the one out there playing the play.
No, he's not. But he has to.
You had this argument last season when I was shitting on Matt Canada, and you're like, but the players got to play.
It's accountability.
It's kind of reversed now. Like, I can't put it all on Arthur Smith when the players out there just wasn't executing.
Right.
Because Najee, like I told you, Najee was running in the sand. Like I said, Fields and GP had a couple of nice connections. So I'm ready to see what they can do later on. Which brings me to this point. Let me ask y'all both, and then I'll answer it later. Like, let's say Wilson's completely healthy next week. Do you stay with Fields or do you go back to Wilson?
Let me answer this first.
You got it.
You mean he's healthy all of a sudden?
Yeah.
I mean, because let's be honest, a calf injury.
Right.
Look at these fingers, y'all. I broke this finger in Elwood City running the ball. And what did Mr. Yurs do? Wrapped my finger up and told me to get back in the game.
Right.
So if I can play with a broken finger, your calf injury, come on, man.
I mean, but
It's
it's
different.
different. You need that muscle to throw.
And I understand that.
You leaning into
I
it.
understand that, but you're coming to a new team after you just got thrown away in the trash, basically.
Right.
And his stats weren't terrible in the whole grand scheme of things. Like, their record was bad, but him as a quarterback,
Right.
he had a sustainable reputation as a good passing quarterback. Touchdowns, yardage, he was in there. Right. But their team was bad. Right. So it looks like it's the quarterback's fault. But in the whole grand scheme of things, if you want to start a spot in Pittsburgh to solidify that you're that guy, or how the young guys say nowadays, I'm him,
right.
You're not showing up and showing out. You're not doing what you're supposed to do.
So you're going with Fields.
I'm going with Fields.
Right.
I'm definitely going with Fields.
What about you, Wax?
I'm going to go the opposite of what you're saying.
Word.
And I am. Even though I didn't even want Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh, I'll stand on that, and I still kind of don't. But, like, being that he won the starting position, I would go with him and still have that little bit of competition between the two quarterbacks.
Making Fields hungry.
Exactly, because like he didn't do terrible, but he didn't do great either.
Right.
So I'm gonna put Russell Wilson in until he proves that he's not the starter. You know what I mean?
But I'm looking at it like, damn, it's a slap in the face because he won that first game. The opening season, that's a big game. Dude sees it different. This guy right here, he's hard to please.
I mean,
very hard to please. He always feels like the first and the last game is exponential.
Yeah, I feel like you can throw the first and the last game out.
But I don't.
They don't mean shit. Like, how many times have we seen, like, we come out the first game and look like shit, and then the rest of the season we look good, or vice versa. We come out the first game and look like world beaters, and then the rest of the season is some bullshit. As for me, when it comes back, circling back to the quarterback shit, like, I would probably go with Fields one more week just to make sure Wilson and his calf is good. And if he comes out and looks like he did this week, then I would probably put Wilson in, because he didn't do anything to take the job back. But he didn't do anything to necessarily lose it either.
He had 57 yards rushing and 157 yards passing. So basically, there was 6 passes that he didn't complete, dude. Come on, man.
But the offense wasn't moving like it was supposed to.
It's that fucking line, man.
I mean, it could be.
Let me ask y'all this. Before today, Russell Wilson was the starting quarterback, right?
He was. Right. That's who Tomlin named the starting quarterback.
So he won that position. Because he's a dumbass and got hurt pushing a sled, he got injured, so you had to put Fields in there, right?
Right.
So that's saying to me that Fields didn't do enough in preseason or practice to take the starting position. So with that being said, he's not better than Russell Wilson at this point.
So do you feel like he got the position out of default?
He definitely did.
Okay.
I mean, because like if Russell Wilson wasn't hurt, he would have been starting.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So why take that? Well, without taking that into consideration, why punish Russell Wilson because he got injured? I mean, he was doing some dumb shit, pushing like, a sled, which is stupid, but...
Now, you're not talking about the sleds that you hit as an offensive line, are you?
Nah, no. Oh, well, I mean, I guess they use them too, but it's just like the sled with the weights on it, like, and you're just like pushing it down the field.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
The quarterback should never be on that.
At all.
No.
At all.
That's something that I think Harris should have been on. I just feel like this. I feel like Justin Fields is getting punished if you put Wilson back in. Right. That's just my thoughts, man.
Yeah,
because, like, he earned it.
At the same time, he didn't earn it. He got it by default because they had a competition at the beginning of the season, and he came in second.
Right. I could feel that.
He didn't earn anything. He earned to back up Russell Wilson.
Right.
So why punish Russell Wilson for getting injured when, like, if they were both healthy, who would be starting?
Russell.
And then when he played this week, he didn't really light the world up. He didn't score a touchdown. So,
right.
You know what I mean? So I would I would go with Fields next week though.
Okay.
Just so I can keep Russell Wilson, so I can make sure his calf is better.
Yeah.
But then if he comes out next week and goes crazy, hey, we going with the hot hand regardless.
Right.
But if he comes out next week and looks similar to this, I might go to Russell Wilson just to try to see if we can get a spark.
Got you.
Yeah, but I'm saying I would go with Russell Wilson only off the fact that he's 100%.
I got you.
Yeah, like if he's still if it's still ailing him, go with Fields.
Right.
Period. But like if they're both healthy and he's able to start, go with Russell.
Right.
Got you.
That's just my opinion.
Right, because it is Denver. We playing Denver next week,
And
so
he got to show out. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's his game.
Just like Arthur got the chance to do,
Right.
opposed to the people that threw him away.
Him and Cardell or whatever. What's his name?
Cordell Patterson.
Yeah. Like today was supposed to be his game to show out because he played with Atlanta. But, next week is definitely Russell's game to give them the big middle finger. And, hopefully
You love
he's
giving
healthy.
people the big middle finger.
I do.
Matter of
I
fact,
do.
give it out right now, Wax. There it is right there for you non-believers. Now, what I will say is you guys at home, we're creating a panel that'll be out by the time this episode drops on who you think this should start quarterback. I'm saying Justin Fields, Dude's saying Justin Fields, Wax is saying Russell Wilson. What do you think?
Right.
Yeah.
We want to know what your thoughts are on who should be our starting quarterback moving forward in Steeler Nation. Now, let's flip the ball around and go on the defensive side of things.
Okay.
Shout out to the fucking defense.
All day.
That offense looked so terrible to where it magnified how great our defense played. I'm wearing this Watt jersey for a fucking reason, Wax.
I feel you.
You know why?
Why is that?
Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because I am on the ledge and I'm jumping out the fucking window with this defense. I said that we was going to go undefeated, and if we don't, we're going to lose one game. This is on the road to 16 and fucking to 17 and 0.
Here you back in Norman.
I am. I only came out to get a glass of water because they don't have filtered water in Narnia. They got this punch. It's like Jello punch with marshmallow juice all in it. Mm-hmm. But I will say the way our defense played today, dude.
They look good.
This motherfucker right here, let me pop this real quick.
The secondary looked good. I was surprised the secondary looked as good as they did. Two picks.
That's 75 right there. He didn't play on the offensive line.
No, you already know.
You know,
I know I'm a defender.
We've been a defensive team since the franchise has been a thing. So defensively, I feel like we did our motherfucking thing. Our DBs look fantastic. Didn't see much from JPJR, but
that's a good thing.
We felt his presence.
That's a good thing because
throwing to him.
Right. If you don't hear nothing from him, that means nobody's throwing the ball his way.
Because they don't want to. Because they know what's going to happen.
Right.
I know my boy Fitzpatrick did his thing. Mm-hmm. He was out there looking like a fucking veteran. Mm-hmm. I know that Watt did his thing. Highsmith did his thing. Your boy who got his renegotiation like I said was going to happen. Not saying that you two didn't.
Cam
got that fucking money, y'all.
Shout out to Deshaun Elliott. He looked good. He had him a pick. Jackson had him another pick. Sealed the game for us. So they look good out there. I was happy to see that. I liked Patrick Willis looked pretty good out there, and what's his name? Peyton Wilson, the young rookie. He looked good out there.
Now let me ask you something. How do you feel that Queen did today?
Queen did all right.
Do you feel like his presence is a present, meaning a gift?
I mean, he did good. We'll see. I mean, it's not like he didn't tear the world up, but like he was solid. You know what I mean? He was a solid part of that middle of the defense that we've been missing for years. So
and it's only our first game.
Right.
You know, he still has time to produce.
Right.
Let me also start off by saying, for one, we're number one team in the AFC North.
What makes you say that?
Because everybody else lost.
Oh yeah.
So
what happened to Cincy?
They lost.
What happened to the Browns?
They lost.
Whoa!
What happened to the Ravens?
They lost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we seen that Thursday night live. That was the kickoff to the season.
I liked everything I saw. That's one. For two, I also want to say big ups to the Steelers fans because we traveled so well. It almost seemed like a goddamn home game.
It definitely did.
You know what I mean?
And I know what you're talking about. When Frymouth caught that catch and they was out there.
I'm talking about the whole game. You seen the black and gold throughout the crowd.
Right.
You saw all the terrible towels. You saw us
TJ turning it up.
Yeah, man.
Who does that away? How you get to do that
That's
away?
what
you
I'm
get to pump
talking
the crowd
about,
up,
man.
You know why I do? Because they do what they can. We do what the fuck we want.
Facts.
Period.
Bingo. So
Steeler
big ups,
Nation.
man. Big ups, Steeler Nation. We're number one in the AFC North. Come holler at us.
My man. So, with that being said, you know what to look forward to. We got a big season that we're cooking up for you on DWI, and I know for a fact Steeler Nation got a big fucking season ahead. So, let's move forward. Let's get this money and let's win some games. We came, we saw, we delivered. Now, next week, we're coming straight back at you. But before we leave, I want some predictions for next week, Wax. Dude. So I'm gonna start with you first. What's your predictions on the game next week?
I'm gonna say I think we're gonna have a better offensive output than we did this week. So I'm gonna say we're gonna score 2 touchdowns. So let me put us at I'm gonna put us at 24 to 13. I think that's kind of what I said last week, but 24-13.
The Wax?
I'm going 17-7 Steelers all day.
I think I had 21-3. I felt like they was only going to be held to a field goal, which they did kick a field goal, but they were able to put some points on the board.
Right.
So with that, and I mean by virtue of a touchdown.
Right.
But close as fuck. You know, we were all pretty close on that score.
Right.
So moving forward, I think we're going to go ahead and beat their ass by 22-6. I feel like we're either going to get some type of safety or something moving forward to get us, or an extra point that we're going for 2.
Right.
So I'm calling it 22-6.
Okay.
And that's off of getting 2 field goals. The reason why I'm saying this, y'all, is because I feel like our defense is so dope. We're only going to hold you to a field goal or 2. So that's going to enable us to, pull out that victory and manifest. And I want to manifest it as well.
Right.
So
I was going to say, and the fact that the Broncos just lost 26-20 against the Seahawks, so they're coming off an L too.
But it's 2 butt-ass teams as far as I'm concerned.
I'm just saying. They lost. Yeah. They were the worst out of the 2 butt teams.
Right.
So we're coming off a victory. We should go in there and get that dub.
So yeah, we got to go to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's the Mile High Club.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Denver for having all those damn shops opened up, those coffee shops. Y'all know what it is. So that's the only thing I'm shouting out to Denver. Other than that, I want asses kicked. Period.
Facts.
So, let's go into the Mile High Club, win that game so we can get the fuck up out of there and come home 2-0. Dude, I mean that shit. As I said, I'm trying to take this motherfucker by storm, man, and give the world something that we've been deserving since the beginning of time. And by the beginning of time, I'm talking about since the beginning of this football season.
Right.
And that's,
do it.
Let's
shake the world up. Let's shake up the world.
Yes, sir.
So, listen. Y'all heard us. Y'all heard it here first. We're coming for your ass, Denver, so be ready. All right, listen. We came, we saw, we delivered. Now, next week, we're coming straight back at you. Same time, same location, different material. Peace.
Peace.